Alright, so I have been contemplating how to send you all the files because this would be a lot. So I'm trying to just show you the video that these are the math problems that you have assigned. Tracing, it's not quite good yet, and she didn't do it with a ruler. And these ones, I don't think they are grade 1 level. I know it should be simple, plus 10, minus 10, but we are not dealing with 10 numbers. We are dealing with like 27 and 18, so I think they should be grade 2 level. So I have tried to work through these, but I just don't think it's grade 1 level just yet, or we are not at this point yet. These were never assigned, we just had to print these out. So I'm not quite sure what to do with these. Again, not grade 1 level. I know you're utilizing it for teaching the large numbers in French, but mathematically speaking, these are way beyond grade 1 level. Here again, adding large numbers like 92 or 93, I don't think it's necessary for grade 1 level. Working with large numbers again, same story. So we did it, but I don't see the utility in it. Here again, the large numbers with 57 and 85, when it's in French, 4 times 20 plus 5, I understand, but still. Again, with the money, it's much more complicated. Not to mention these little letters and numbers are just like super difficult to read. So working with 93, 78, and 81, grade 2, if not grade 3 level, in my opinion. So this is what we have been working on. Because she has been having issues with letter orientation, I'm making her practice out all the numbers. Here, this was the game, what I comprised for her. And basically, I'm putting in some wrong numbers as such. And she has to circle the ones that were written incorrectly. And if she crossed out something incorrect or circled something incorrectly, I cross it out. And if she missed something, like this one she missed, I pink it. And this is an exercise where she's able to earn the M&Ms as I wrote it in my email. And here she didn't earn any M&Ms, but this was quite a bit of work for her to identify which numbers were written incorrectly, just to test her how she remembers this page. So I'm trying to reinforce what we learn. I get her a balance scale. So here we were playing with the balances. And this is, I think, a little bit closer to her level, but I think this might be even a little bit more too advanced because I'm working with going above 10. And I think it's just easier to get eased into mathematics working with small numbers. Like this was particularly difficult, the 9 plus 13, getting to 22. So after I made the assessment from here, I downgraded the numbers significantly, as you can tell from this practice page. And she has done significantly better on this side, although the difficulty in this one was that it's not always the blue numbers she has to write in. Sometimes we are missing the pink or the green numbers, and that's not just addition, but subtraction, so that might be a step up to the next level in that regard, logic game-wise. Here again, same concept as the previous page, lots of concentration again on the 5s, and just getting the same concept that the pink and the green numbers are going to make the blue, and sometimes one is missing, and you have to be able to figure out, logically speaking, which one is missing. So these are the exercises that I devised for her, as opposed to the ones that were provided in your book. Again, more of the same thing. I just keep repeating and repeating because practice makes perfect. You can tell the date when we were doing these. And you were working with some really large numbers, so I figured, like, I don't want her to fall behind her class, so I was showing her how she has to add together the first two digits to get the red one and the last 2 digits to get the blue numbers. This method doesn't work all the time, of course, because once we go above 10 for the blue numbers, then, or once we go above 9, rather, then it's going to alter the end result. But at least we are a step closer to in the right direction. I still think this is way too advanced for grade 1, but I didn't want her to fall behind her classmates, so I wanted to have her some sort of a basic concept of how to tackle big numbers. But again, I think this is grade 2, if not grade 3 level. Today's assignments for mathematics, these were really tiny letters, so what I did, I put it into bigger letters so it's easier to work with. So this was problem number 1, and I just transferred it over, and she had to count these out. She's counting out with her little counting beads like that, and that's what she is working with. With the tens, adding the tens and 20s and whatnot, this was pretty easy for her, but she's working with her abacus, and she got the hang of this like super easily because these are much easier to manipulate because you just shove over a whole row of tens and the numbers are written out on the abacus itself. Let me show like that. Again, we did several pages of these because that was the assignment. And these ones will be a little bit more difficult, going back to where it's missing in the middle, where it's going to be subtraction, and when we are adding more than just one item together. So that's going to be for probably Tuesday or Wednesday's homework. I haven't even taken a look at the rest of the homework because there was quite a bit of a printout for the week, and I'm not quite sure what is assigned for what day. There was just like 50 pages for math and 50 pages for French. Exaggerated a little bit, but you get the gist of it. French. Here, when it's very obvious locating them, then it's easy for her to identify what the problem is. The issue is when the written French is quite significantly different from the pronunciation. And we have to get the reading comprehension to a much higher level in order to work with that. And I don't think my pronunciations will be sufficient for this. Differentiating between male, female, and plural, she has no problem with it. I explained to her when it ends with an E, then it's most likely to be an un. When it doesn't end with an E, it might be an A, but if it ends with an S, that it's most likely to be plural. So she got the gist of it. She's very logical, so she had no problem with those. Here, again, we are dealing with a lot of French for her to comprehend, so I had to translate it. Once I translated it, then she has no problem solving the questions. Here, with these ones, she was quite good finding the right words, especially if I read it out to her, which one is what. So to my understanding, she understands these words in French at least, so that's a step forward. Same thing here. We had to look up a couple of words, at least I did, like doghouse, but once I explained to her, like petit maison, then petite maison, then she got it. Lots of the same, and it's boiling down to vocabulary. It's all about vocabulary and reading comprehension. So I'm making her listen to a lot of French tapes to up the vocabulary as fast as we can, and then we can tackle the writing itself. So vocabulary first, that we are trying to speed her up on. Grammar, so she would be able to communicate at least verbally, so she doesn't feel left out from class activities. And then once we have that, then we can tackle the reading, writing, comprehension portion of it. Again, not enough space here, so we just wrote it out here. I gave her some sort of guidance, but this is a little bit beyond her comprehension at this point. She loved these, the little crossword puzzles. I explained to her to focus on the words that she knows and put that in. And once she has that, then she may have a word somewhere, or a letter rather, that will give her another answer, and see how long or short the words are to give her all the help that she's able to get with these. And she really liked these, and she did quite well with these. everything is with supervision and lots of help and going back and forth to decipher these, but she's making great effort and great accomplishment. French homework that you just guys assigned last Friday, we are still working on it, putting in words that start with the specific letters. And this was her dans ma chambre, Ilya. And then from the red book, she copied out some words. There's her picture. And this was from today's assignment. Issue with focus of leaving out words. Like here, she left out sha. Here in avec, she left out words. And then bo, she never even bothered putting it in. So focus is going to be our main concern. And as I said, making her stand up is very embarrassing for her. So she's trying to avoid it. But it gets her focus. So I had been trying to make her stand up. Here again, focus issues, she was copying it in English, so she had to go back and redo everything in French, and she had to do the matching up, so that was triple work for her, if not quadruple. So, and these are her notes from today's podcast, or what was it, the Zoom lesson, and these are just for later on. And there is quite a few pages here that I had to print out today, so I'm may have to switch to a bigger book because this is not going to be able to hold in up to 50 or 60 pages at this point. So we are going to see where it takes us. So that should be it. And I'm trying to keep up with as much as I can. Thank you.